Look at that image. What a great picture. What a great photo. A man rocking his heart out in action, shaking, swiveling, swinging his guts out, putting his heart into every lyric, every nuance, every move. Look at that picture. That's just a great live picture of Elvis Presley, the king himself, back in 1969 during his run in Las Vegas, wearing his white suit with his Gibson jumbo guitar. Love that picture. This is a CD that I got in the store a few years ago. The actual cover of it looks like this. Okay, the very best of Elvis Presley live. It's called Set List. Maybe some of you are Ed from the King's Court have seen this. But I mean, that image is from Aloha, Hawaii. And the majority of this stuff on this live CD that came out a few years ago, it was an officially released CD, is a lot of it's from Elvis's 1969 shows in Las Vegas. And I love this back cover of the CD booklet so much that I flipped it around and put that in the front. But that's the theme of today's video, folks, is Elvis in Las Vegas of 1969. And boy, what a series of shows that was in my book. This CD isn't all Elvis of 69, but I like that image. That image on the front is from the 69 shows. The image on the back is from the 69 shows. Great picture. Again with his Gibson jumbo. And there's really not much inside here. Okay. But just the image, 69. And the reason I'm doing this, folks, is because it's probably my favorite live period of Elvis Presley. Elvis playing live during that 69 run of shows. Here's another great, beautiful picture of Elvis from the 69 shows in Las Vegas on a CD called Viva Las Vegas. Many of this is from the 69 show, but a lot of it isn't. So, again, but I just want to show the image because that image is from 69. Elvis hadn't played live in a long time. I mean, I won't get into the whole history. You Elvis fans know it. You know it better than I do for sure. But Elvis did a string of shows during the 50s and into the late 50s when he was pre-Army, before he went into the Army. Then when he went into the Army and he got out in 1960, he didn't do a lot of live shows those first few years of the new decade. I think he did, and Ed from the King's Court probably knows better than me and can maybe type in the comments below more details. But I want to say it was 60 or 61. I think it was 61. He did a couple of shows to benefit the USS Arizona Memorial in Honolulu, Hawaii. And those shows are great, and they've been documented. And I know Ed from the King's Court, he's shown you some albums he bought that reflect those shows, and he really spoke highly of them. But then Elvis went for many, many years where he did not play live. He got involved in making his Hollywood movies. He was involved in other types of recording, soundtracks for the movies, different songs. I felt, as I've always told you, he recorded some great material during this period of the 60s. But live shows, no, not so much. After the USS Arizona Memorial shows, Elvis kind of disappeared from the live stage. Now, as you all know the history, things started to change big time for Elvis with the 68 comeback special, which is reflected on my t-shirt here. When he did this special, it went over so well, and it was such a monster, that I think it sparked Elvis. It really reignited his passion for music again, because he obviously recorded some great live material, great studio material when he went into the American studios and started recording a series of wonderful music, which came out on a series of albums, the most famous being From Elvis in Memphis, which came out in '69. And he had some big hits again, Within the Ghetto, Suspicious Minds. Elvis was back, and he was, I really feel that passion was reignited within him after the '69 special. So it was announced that he was going to be, doing shows again, and the big unveiling of this was going to be in 1969 in Las Vegas at the International. And here's an FTD I have of one of those shows. Okay, the return to Vegas. Again, some great pictures from Elvis playing at the International during '69. I'm just showing you these to kind of lead you up to where I'm going today with a new item that I just received. And then, of course, this famous recording. I have the FTD and the original album. Elvis in person at the International Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada, was from those series of '69 shows where Elvis just, I'm sorry folks, he knocked it out of the park live-wise. This is my favorite live period of Elvis. I'm talking over the 50s, over those USS Arizona shows, over all the stuff he did in the 70s, leading up to his passing in 1977. This series of shows from that first run in Vegas in late '69 is my favorite. My favorite of Elvis's live shows. I felt the material was strong. I felt the song selection and the different songs he picked for the different shows, varying shows, and he did vary the set list. The set lists were perfect. They were fantastic. He had a good mixture of new stuff, some older stuff. I just felt this was the perfect period for Elvis live. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. Everybody has their opinion. Everyone has the right to their opinion, so you may think different, but this, just for me, Matt, this is my favorite live period of Elvis. And this is a famous album that came out that did very well for Elvis. This is the double set that has in person, but then you have Elvis back in Memphis on a second disc. And also, if you can see it, but right up here, this is a promotional copy, not for sale, promotion use only. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It's embossed, not for sale, promotion use only. So I'm really happy to get this. It's a double set. Again, beautiful pictures from the '69 series of shows. One from the '68 comeback special over here. But just beautiful pictures. And I'm just so happy to have this double set. But this album was probably one of the first things released from those '69 shows in Vegas. And it did very well for Elvis. And then there's also the FTD. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. And you get a couple of different shows from the '69 shows. And my favorite, I've always told you this, if you've ever seen any of my Elvis videos where I show this one, this is my favorite. I love this. I wish I could get this on vinyl. I'm not sure if it ever did. Ed from the King's Court probably knows. Ed, if you're out there and you watch this, please let me know. Did this ever come out on vinyl? It's called Elvis at the International. An FTD of one of Elvis's early live performances in '69 at the International. And I love this album. I love it. I just love the show itself, the energy, Elvis's performance, the song selection, the set list, the way he performs, and the cover to boot. I love that cover. That's probably one of my favorite, if not the favorite, picture of Elvis from the '69 shows in Vegas. That's got to be my favorite picture right there. Man, if I could find that picture and get it on a t-shirt or on a poster or a lithograph or something, I'd be there. That is a beautiful picture. Look at that thing. That's rock and roll, baby, right there. Okay, so this is a great FTD if you can get it. Elvis at the International, it's my favorite. But I got something really cool in the mail. Have you all heard of noted, he's a recording artist, he's also an author, he's involved in a lot of different multimedia type things, but he's a great writer and he puts together great books, as well as his recording. If you ever get a chance to check out some of his CDs out there, they're in the power pop vein. He's a power pop guy, but I love that genre of music, so I have a couple of his CDs. But his name is Ken Sharp. Ken Sharp. If you ever get a chance, folks, check out some of Ken Sharp's books. He's put out books about the Beatles. He's put out a couple of great books about John Lennon. He's got some great books about power pop in general. Someday I will show those books to you. He's written books about the Raspberries, which are one of the founding fathers of power pop. He's done books about Kiss. Ken's just a multifaceted guy, good guy. Again, I don't know him personally, but any email contact I've had with him, he's always been so gracious and so pleasant and helpful. And I just was able to acquire this book by Ken. It's been out a few years now, folks. This one this could be a tough one to find. I'd really like to know if anyone has this book out there besides me. It's called Elvis Vegas 69. And man, I was in heaven when I found out I had an opportunity to get this book. Folks, I love these shows so much. Elvis playing in 69 at the International. And when I saw I had a chance to get Ken's book on Elvis Vegas 69, I jumped at it. This book is beautiful. It's a beautiful, well put together book, hardcover book, chronicling, did I say that right? Elvis's shows at the International in 69 with beautiful pictures. And I'm going to show you as much as I can of it because I love this book so much. And I'm so happy I found it. I wanted to share it with you and let you know if you are an Elvis fan, try to find this book. See if you can get it on eBay or, I don't know, Craigslist or something. See if you can come across it, because if you're an Elvis fan, you need to get this book. It's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of it, folks, just because I love it so much. So well put together by Ken. And what made it so special to me was because it chronicled, whoa, there I am with that word again. Oh boy, I'm getting old. Because it covered, how's that? I'll change the wording. Because it covered Elvis in strictly in the 69 series of shows in Vegas, I fell in love with it immediately because that's my favorite period of Elvis live. And there's not a lot of material out there, folks. Believe it or not, you would think that Elvis hadn't played live in so long that when he was finally doing these series of shows that it would have been documented so well and so extensively, and it really wasn't. I don't think there's any video of these shows. Correct me if I'm wrong. Plenty of audio, thank goodness. And now, thanks to this book, plenty of images put together, all compiled in one publication, which is excellent. But video, boy, someone correct me if I'm wrong. If you know a place where I can see even a few minutes of video of Elvis playing Vegas in 69, let me know, please, because I'd love to see it. But this book is the next best thing. It's got so many great pictures. The cast who was involved in those shows, some of the show posters and advertising, the introduction, okay? Talking about Elvis, you know, how he was in the movies and such up until the resurrection, the 68 comeback special. Look at that great picture. Look at that with his Hagstrom guitar, that beautiful Hagstrom guitar. Okay, more chronicling Elvis. I just got to show you some of this, folks. This book is just so wonderful. So many beautiful things to read. It looks like Ken got some quotes from a lot of different people that were very close to Elvis and fans. Priscilla Presley has quotes in this book. It's great. So I highly recommend it. With just some wonderful pictures of Elvis. And wait till you see the 69 stuff. This is talking about the 68 comeback special, this period of the book. And, you know, how it, you know, led up to his recording in 69 and then ultimately the Vegas shows. The story of the International Hotel and how it originated. The building and construction of it. Elvis signing his contract to play there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. There's a nice picture. Signing the contract. Contacting the band members. He talks to all the different band members. Takes quotes from them. Just great stuff. There you go, the singers. The Imperials. I believe that was the Sweet Inspirations, the girls there. Doing rehearsals for the shows. Again, quoting wonderful all guests and celebrities, offering their thoughts and quotes, and members of the band. Great pictures from the 69 shows. Look at these things. Fabulous letters, telegrams, reprints of things. Elvis, now through August 28th, advertising. Just, what a great series of shows. I've listened to so many of them. Granted, I'm not a completist. I haven't heard every show on audio. But from all the different ones I've heard and the several that I do own, I'll tell you, folks, get into some of this. If you haven't heard it yet, I'm sure Ed will back me on this. But Elvis playing in 69 in Vegas, And again, I'm not disparaging the other periods of live in Elvis's career. The 50s were great. When he played during the 1970 series of shows, which was documented in the film, That's the Way It Is. Those are great shows too. And even leading up into the 70s, when he started touring the country and playing different places, and eventually, you know, Aloha from Hawaii in 73, and great shows. I love all periods of Elvis, but this is my favorite. This is my favorite, 69. Those series of shows, I'm sorry, they were just the best. Elvis looked great, he sounded great, the set list was great, the production was great. Great picture there, walking towards the stage. Again, I apologize, folks. I hope you're enjoying this and interested, because I could look at this book all night. Look at that great picture. Nice, beautiful pictures from the 69 shows. Look at these things. A lot of them he's playing his famous Gibson Jumbo acoustic guitar. There's a couple here he's playing his Gretsch. It looks like a country gentleman, very similar to the one George Harrison played in the Beatles. Elvis does a little sit-down session where he's playing his Gretsch. Really nice looking guitar. Look at these pictures. Great stuff. That's a thing. I've seen that picture before. That's a great picture. He's rocking, boy. Look at him rocking out there. That's the man right there. Rocking and rolling. Again, I'm sorry, but I just got to share them with you. They're just too good to pass up. Too good to pass up. Look at these. Almost the same pose. One he's in his black suit, and one he's in his white suit. I mean, I don't know how Ken was able to get these pictures, who distributed them, and how he was able to get them, acquire them, but great job, Ken. Ken Sharp. Elvis Vegas 69. Yeah, just got this in, and I'll tell you, here's a nice one of Elvis with his Country Gentleman. Gretsch guitar, electric, doing the sit-down session. But, folks, I just had to share this with you. This video shouldn't be too much longer. I know I'm coming up on 20 minutes shortly, but I just had to show you this thing and just encourage you. If there's a way you can find it, I'm being honest with you. I think it's going to be very difficult for you to find this. I can't really go into how I was able to get it. I don't want to go into the details, but it didn't cost me too much. It's very reasonable what I paid for this. In other words, I'm not disappointed in what I paid for it, but I don't want to, unfortunately I can't go into too many of the details how I was able to acquire it. It was all legal. Nothing illegal, folks. I acquired it very legally, believe me. But, you know, I paid pretty much face value for what it was when it first came out. And I never thought I'd be able to get it, because this book came out several years ago, and I believe it's long out of print. So, there's great pictures. I'm not going to go too much longer, folks. Elvis, the man. With some celebrities that came to see him. Fats Domino. Look at some of these great shots. Press conferences. I know Ed, he'll back me up on this. See, this was a great series of shows. And I'm so glad they've been memorialized in this book by Ken Sharp. That is the cover of the album I just showed you. The aftermath of the shows. Releasing some of the recordings. Look at that great shot. Okay, this is going into 1970 now, a year later when he was in Vegas. With Sinatra. Great pictures. Yeah, now it's going into 1970 and talking about the following year, how he went back to Vegas for another series of shows, but and just show some old pictures and things, older ones of Elvis from the early days. So that's pretty much it. But folks, I just want to tell you this. If you can get this book, if you're an Elvis fan, Elvis Vegas 69 by Ken Sharp. And check out Ken Sharp. I think he has a website where you can look at some of his other books and things he has for sale. But he's a great writer, great recording artist. He puts out some great music. And he's a big Raspberries fan like me, big Beatles guy like me, and apparently a big Elvis guy, which I did not know. But he wrote a good book about Elvis's run of shows in '69. So, like I said, gonna be very hard for you to find this. If someone knows an easier way to find it, please let the folks know here. But I think this is very difficult to find now in general. I'm just very grateful and appreciative that I have a copy. I'm going to be checking it out after this video is over and really start diving into the narrative in this book and reading about it. But Elvis in '69, folks, doesn't get much better than this. The man just, he was on fire. He was on fire. So when you get a chance, folks, check out some Elvis live in '69 and see what I'm talking about. And if you can find this book, good luck to you. I hope you can. It's well worth it. So with that, I'm going to let you go. This is my little video tribute to Elvis, live, 1969. Didn't get much better than that, folks. There's not too many people as entertainers that could top Elvis during those series of shows in 1969. You got to give the man credit. He put his heart and soul into every performance right to the end, and it shows. All right, that's it, folks. I'll let you run. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Signing off. Bye-bye.